The meeting with Caltrans on the 28th of June, arranged by the Rosamond Municipal Advisory Council, is to highlight the problems people face getting off the Rosamond Boulevard off-ramp and then immediately trying to make a left-hand turn into the gas station, AM/PM, or now that a new elementary school is going to be built, getting off at the freeway and exiting into the front office building of the new elementary school. It's quite a challenge, and the problem really is the person in the far right lane slows down to try to get across to the left turn lane, and cars coming behind aren't quite ready to slow down that fast. The 14 has gained more and more users that get off at Rosamond Boulevard and go to Edwards Air Force Base or the Armstrong Flight Test Center. So twice a day, this off-ramp is extremely busy. Now we're getting prepared to add the school traffic twice a day, and the Rosamond Municipal Advisory Council directors are quite concerned about what that will do to the safety. A number of people have had near misses and have said this is an accident waiting to happen. And here you see Rosamond Boulevard, Edwards Air Force Base, next right, 2,200 feet forward. And now we're going to take that off, and we'll see exactly what the challenge is. All right. So here's the sign, Rosamond Boulevard, exit 55, 40 miles an hour is what it should be, but now we have a chance here. You see, we see the gas station on the left, and we get off here, but then I want to get over to here, so I have to cross two lanes and then wait for two lanes to clear before I can actually make the left turn. This is the new Rosamond Elementary School, nearing completion, and here is the gas station. So that little transition there is extremely dangerous during rush hour. Now we'll take a look at the intersection from a different angle, and this is heading south on Glendower and then making a right-hand turn onto Rosamond Boulevard. See, a turn here, puts us west on Rosamond Boulevard. Now, at the end of the day, the workforce coming out of Edwards Air Force Base comes along Rosamond Boulevard heading west, and the traffic is backed up for several blocks, and then makes a right-hand turn here onto 14 going to LA. Some people continue on, but most of the traffic gets off there on Rosamond Boulevard going to LA.
6. We have a presentation by Kern County Sheriff's Crime Prevention Unit. Are they here this evening? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and table items. We have one other presentation from, what was that organization?
Higher Options.
Higher Options. Is anybody here from Higher Options?
I'll speak on their behalf.
Okay.
My name is Terry Lansdale. I'm the president of the Chamber of Commerce. The Higher Options been meeting at our chamber building for the last 2 months. They were meeting at the Rosamond Community Service District building on Diamond Street. And I guess the building is somewhat unsafe, so 2 months ago they started meeting at the chamber office. Our conference room is kind of small, and there's quite a few people that are actually go to this. And the Higher Option, the idea is to help people stay off drugs. And because we have quite a few dispensaries in our town, it's kind of a good organization to support. So we've been supporting them for 2 months. They do have some additional people that would come to their meeting, and I proposed to the county to let them use Hummel Hall for their meetings. Their meetings are on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. Spike, which was the sheriff for this area, is the one that heads it up, but he had to go out of town. He attended the Tuesday meeting, and then he had some place to go, so he wasn't able to be here. But I think they're a good organization. I think we should support them with all the shops we do have in town, and a meeting at Hummel Hall would be a good place for them, and it's a big venue, so it would be something that would be very good for our community. I did text some of the people that they're maybe not that good at speaking, or they didn't want to speak. But Spike is the one that's leading it, and it's for the best of our community.
Okay. This wasn't an agenda item. I wanted to get this out here for information. I know Spike, and I was with him when he first proposed that program, putting it together, and so I know a little about it. I don't have a lot of the details, but I would like to get them put on the agenda for our next month meeting, and then hopefully Spike can be here and can address the community as to what it's all about, and then the board can go ahead and give their approval or non-approval, whichever way the board wants to go on it. And Terry, if there's any information that you can get, that you can email out to us, if you have some, that you can email to the board members, or email it to Josh and he can get it to the board members. That way we can review any literature or anything like that. That way we kind of educate ourselves a little bit. Because even though I know something about it, none of the other board members here are even aware of the program at all.
Yeah, and I don't really have anything, but I'll talk with Pastor Dave. He's the gentleman that works with Spike on the project, and we'll see if we can get some information.
This one?
No, it's a different Pastor Dave. There's 2 of them. So I'll see if I can get them to send something to you.
Okay.
So you'd have it this month yet, so you can review it.
Okay.
Another option, just so Terry's well aware of it also, I've opened our building to use it temporarily until they were able to locate another building.
Okay.
Yeah, and the chamber voted tonight to let them use it for 1 more month at our facility while they work through this.
Right.
They really don't want to move around a lot. It makes them seem transient. So.
Okay. All right. Well, because we're not on the agenda, that's really all we can say on it at this time. So, thank you, Terry.
Okay.
All right. We'll move on to item 6. If anybody from the Sheriff's Crime Prevention Unit shows up, we'll go ahead and give them the floor.
The crime prevention will be here next month.
Be here next month? Okay.
They want to work more this one.
Okay.
They will also be doing a presentation for the seniors during one of their things next month.
Okay, great. All right then. Okay, item 7, community leader reports, Kern County Supervisor.
Yes, in regards to the RMAC letter to Congressman McCarthy about the marijuana shops here in Rosamond, I discussed that with the supervisor, also discussed it with Ms. Lorelei Oviatt, and the way that it was explained to me was that the letter should be addressed to Supervisor Scrivener, and I spoke with Zach personally yesterday, and he said that he would happily take that and convey all concerns to the congressman himself. And then regarding county elections, we have 150 elections precincts throughout the county, and Rosamond's, they just have a few documents here that we need council to look over and adopt. One is just a simple resolution. We just simply place your name and send that on in. The other is a candidate statement, whether or not the advisory council would like to pay for a candidate statement to be issued to the paper or media, or whether the candidate pay for that himself, him or herself. And then the third is a tie-breaking procedures. How would the council like to break a potential tie? Either a coin toss, draw out of a hat, or some other option that your council can think of.
Okay. All right, if you can get all that literature to me, then that way I've got the right resolution numbers and everything, and we can go ahead and put that on the agenda
Okay.
for next week's meeting. That'd be great. And then if you can send the information to the other directors, that way they can review and read it and kind of understand it. That way it's not just dumped on them here on meeting night.
Will do.
Okay. And as far as the marijuana letter goes, it's on the agenda here tonight, so we can go ahead and, as a board, we can take action on that marijuana letter tonight and then move forward in it.
Excellent.
Okay, any other questions of our Kern County Supervisor?
Any update on business cards?
Oh, yeah, so our office, we will be able to get you the business cards. I just need to collect which information from each of you if we would like to have put on the business cards.
Yeah, I've got the information for Director Hernandez and Director Morris, and so tonight, before you leave, it'd be just as easy to give your information to Josh. If not, I can forward the ones that I already have to him tonight, and then you can have that. But the sooner we get him all the information, then he can get the business cards for us. Okay, any other questions? All right, Kern County Fire Department. Kern County Sheriff's Office.
Sorry, I'm not for Sheriff's Office. We do have some stats this month. We're getting some of the stuff straightened out with our new system. So the stats appear to be about right. So I'll give them, for this month, the total of calls for service in Rosamond were 597. Some of the other stats aren't accurate. I know for a fact they're not accurate. So they have us down for 3 of us, but we had probably about 25. That comes from, there's new ways to do stuff in our system, so between the deputies learning how to do it and then learning how to extract that information, we're getting there. There's some nice new pie charts, but a lot of that information is interesting, but not real important. But 14% of the calls for service were 911 calls for emergencies, 16% were officer initiated, and 70% were just regular non-emergency calls. Our substation We're still waiting on internet. Currently, they've changed plans from AT&T to another internet service, and I don't know exactly when that'll be up and running, but we can't do anything until we have computers. We have been doing stuff at the RCSD building, but we're not officially open. And, we're not sure when that the internet will be hooked up, and we'll be ready to go a couple days after that.
Okay.
Crime prevention will be here next month, and as I said, they'll also be doing a presentation for the seniors during the day. Any questions for me?
Any questions?
I do. Crime statistics. We seem to be having crimes committed up here, deputies called, and them not doing reports. What can we do about that?
Well, the person that's calling about it has to let me know, and I can see what's going on. Some of that, some people, each of our calls for services is kept the same way now. So we don't have a separate incident number like we used to have before.
So a call for service and a call for, to report a crime does show up on the crime statistics, even though a report is not done.
It should,
It should.
the way the new systems are. But the crime reports, depending on what it is, if someone can decline a report, they can call us, tell us, hey, someone stole this, but they don't have to make a full report.
Well, for insurance purposes, it is needed.
Right.
And when the deputies refuse to do that, it is a problem.
There shouldn't
I'm
be
just-
any refusals of reports, so
Well,
if there are, give me a call, and I'll discuss
Just as long as it's showing up on the crime reports, I mean, that is how they determine where they need deputies, I would assume.
Right. Well, the calls for service are showing how many times we're sending deputies out places. And that's the main thing right now.
And just to touch on the crime prevention unit, Jim sent me a brochure on them, and they cover a whole variety of different topics, and it's going to be really nice having them here on a regular basis, going over different subjects, that concern the community, like domestic violence, teen dating violence, drug awareness for parents, personal safety, senior scams and frauds, stranger danger, share the road, internet safety for parents and teachers and school staff. So there's lots of things in there that is going to be really good information for the public to get, and I'm looking forward to them being here and sharing with the community, things to make our life easier and less stressful. Thank you, Jim. Okay, Caltrans Highway Patrol.
Good evening. Before I go, would you mind, I'd like to recognize we have a representative from a civil in Tom Mackey's office. Is it possible he talks before I do, and then I'll go and meet after him? Sure. Thank you.
I'll make this easy. What are you doing? I'm fun to listen. Seriously, I don't have a report plan, just come to get information.
Okay, great.
And I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm John Williams. I'm the commander of the Mojave CHP. Good evening. Some of the stats I have is for the entire area that we provide coverage, which is the communities of Rosamond, Tehachapi, Mojave, Boron, Inyo Current, all the way out to Trona in Pearsonville. We have kind of a big area. It's actually 980 square miles of coverage for only 32 officers. So we have kind of a big area. So some of my stats are from my entire area, and some stats I have are just for Mojave. So I'll start with my entire area. For us, we only had 19 DUI arrests for our entire area, which is very low, which is good. I would say it's at least half of what we normally have, so that's a good thing. We had 1,341 citations issued throughout for all the CHP officers out there. We had 72 traffic collisions, one of which unfortunately was a fatality. And then for the for the Rosamond area,
out of those 19 DUIs, 9 of them were out of Rosamond. We had 6 pursuits last month, which 3 of them started off of Sierra Highway and went into LA County. So we had 10 abandoned vehicles we responded to. 1 loose animal, kind of funny, it was a duck and ducklings by some mailboxes. So if you're going to have a loose animal call, that's the one to have. We had 21 traffic collisions. 1 of those was a misdemeanor hit and run. We had 33 reckless drivers, and out of that, 6 people were arrested. And that's pretty much what I have for C Street. Any questions?
Any questions? More?
Real quickly, the DUIs, was it any drug driving, or just all drug driving, or any?
Yeah, I don't recall specifically, but I can say I know that several of them were combinations of alcohol and or drugs. But I didn't have those numbers with me. If you want in the future, I'll start separating that and bringing that with me.
Yeah, I think that we're, something like he's working on that, but that'd be quite a while, but.
Yes, sir.
So try to get the separation that we're not making it as responsible.
Well, but the other issue is though we don't have statistical data from previous years because it's been an issue.
Right.
It's been an issue with either illegal drugs with alcohol, even legal prescribed drugs with alcohol. It's been a problem for a long time. So even if we start creating new data, it's very difficult to compare with our old data because we weren't tracking it that way in the past.
Right, we're looking at an area with 930 square miles, you said?
980.
980 square miles.
You're right.
And so 9 out of 19 were here.
That's correct.
So that's see how much of that is involved with the lovely green crosses all over town too.
And that half our pursuits took us back into LA County with something new that we're not seeing either. The majority of our pursuits kind of stayed within the area.
Right.
It seems like a lot of them are taking us back to LA County.
So come here and then.
Read into that how you want, but.
Okay.
I know that you're still tracking for data in regards to the dispensaries that are here. Are there more of an increase in any of those situations you just mentioned?
Are you saying that we can directly
just for
relate
Rosamond?
No, we can't do that. We can't say it's because of that. No, really, there's really no way to do it. I seriously doubt they're going to be honest with us anyhow, even after we talk to them or arrest them on what they're doing. But we don't have that nor collect that data yet. I'm thinking after January of next year, we're going to see a whole new system of data collection, and I think we'll have better statistics over the next 3 or 4 years.
But are you seeing a change from what it was January 1 to current?
When it comes to pursuits, yes. When it comes to DUI arrests, I'd say it's increased a little bit.
Okay.
So we can all assume what's making that increase, but I don't have any data to support that, so I probably need to go there.
Right now, that will, hopefully it's been tested out in an area that.
Will that be in the field?
Yes. That's the
How's
goal.
that coming?
It's come along well, as a matter of fact.
That's
it's,
great.
As we get
Yeah,
closer
they never
closer.
should have allowed this until they had that test.
Well, I agree with you entirely. So this is, but apparently a majority of California disagrees with this.
But didn't I also read that that's going to be held up in litigation because nobody really wants it out there?
Yeah.
Right now, we have the marijuana issue is on the agenda. So if we got any questions or discussions on that, I ask the board to wait until then. That way we can move through the agenda and get these other reports in. Okay, any other questions of the Highway Patrol?
Not a question, but a comment. Several weeks ago, Commander Williams invited the Rosamond News out to look at the new cruisers. And we did a YouTube, put that up, and to date, it's over 27,000 views. And I think it's probably because he's such a good narrator. I told him he ought to think about a second career in the movies.
Not to mention a #1 nice guy. Thank you. Okay, Rosamond Community Watch.
Paul, this Saturday, the 17th, we're going to be doing our cleanup on Sierra Highway. It's starting from 6 o'clock in the morning till 10 because it's going to be pretty hot. Saturday, so we'll have plenty of water. We'll be having breakfast out there first thing in the morning. We talked about this last month for that people that were dropping off all the clothing across the street down there. We notified Union Pacific. They came out and had that container removed out of there. So there's still a lot of clothes that are left over there. Some people have gone through, picked up those, doing whatever they want with them. But Saturday, all that stuff will be removed out of there completely. Maybe I can get together with you afterwards, Josh. We submitted, actually Gail submitted to the county that they come in and mow that whole entire area down, especially down by Avenue A. Due to the fact that brush is getting so high and there is a ravine right there where I've been out there a couple times where I've had to actually tow cars out of that area because they think it's a flat spot and they're actually sliding into the ravine, into the ditch. So those brushes are getting really high. So if we can do something for
yeah, we can
talk about that afterwards. Okay. Also too, graffiti's gone up since school's been out. I went out yesterday and painted 8 different locations around the community and went back around today and a couple of those spots have been graffitied over. So tomorrow I'll be back out again and painting other locations. Especially the Moose where they have the fireworks stand, that's been tagged really bad, so I'll be out there tomorrow painting that. And also Franklin by 15th Street in that alleyway, I painted that one fence that was there. And one of the issues that we're also having too in the community is when we go out and talk with the owners or the residents of that location, we have to have them sign a slip by the county. A lot of these people are like, well, this graffiti, they're going to tag it again if you paint it, so they'll just leave it. So we need to try to make that change around, and I talked to them, and we finally wind up having them sign it so we can go ahead and paint it. It was a nice one. So on 15th Street, that block wall right now has been painted graffiti on 15th Street and Rosamond Boulevard, on an empty lot, and quite a few other locations, so I'm going to be out there tomorrow. And I did order more paint through the county, which I should be having that here by sometime mid next week.
You know, Paul, there is, you know, because the RCSD, don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure because they had the voters vote them graffiti abatement powers as part of their charter, that they can actually, if you're having problems with businesses or things like this, I believe that the RCSD, their board, can pass an ordinance or a resolution that if they don't, if the businesses don't want to let county representatives come in there and paint the graffiti.
It's not the businesses, it's residents.
Or residents, but either way, I believe that they can be compelled to have to paint it themselves. In other words, if somebody, if they're, in other words, graffiti needs to be covered up in this community. If it's visible to the public, and because RCSD has graffiti abatement powers that was voted in by the people, that I'm sure that they can write some resolution to compel the people. In other words, if they don't want to let anybody come and cover up the graffiti, then they can be compelled to do it, or RCSD can go in and paint it and then bill them for it or whatever.
Well, I have talked to RCSD last year and with the new manager also, and they only do main corridors, like Rosamond Boulevard, by the high school, any corridors that have block walls or fencing on the main corridors, that's what they do. And I've sat and talked with the manager, and that's all they do. Now they'll do painting if they have to, but they'll give us a call and have us go out and do it. So it's in conjunction with them. Whatever they decide to do is up to them, but I can tell you I was on that board when we adopted graffiti abatement. And our policy was then, if it can be seen by the public, we went out and took care of it. Now, if it was on private property, yes, we had to get permission from the business owner or the resident. But if it's a block wall
going up Wyandotte or going down Hook or something like, hey, we just took care of it.
Yeah.
And,
Well, that's one of the things that,
but if that's changed with them, then that's something that's internal with them.
yeah, well, we talked to them, by the time they get out to do it, if we're out there, we're just gonna go ahead and cover it. You know, I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff out there that I covered yesterday.
I mean, I commend you. I mean, I can't thank you enough for you taking the personal initiative to get out there and paint over this graffiti. What frustrates me and makes me feel bad for you is the fact that you're out there saying, hey, I want to cover this up, and people saying, nah, just leave it alone. Well, the whole idea of having graffiti abatement program is so our community doesn't turn into blight.
Yeah, but the hardest thing for us is try to get through our CSD is try to cover it up, because if we go out there on private property or business without their permission and we paint it, we're in violation. It's just like us tagging.
Right.
It doesn't matter, and that's through the county public works.
Well, I understand
graffiti
that.
task force.
And
Now, so we can't just go out and just because we see something that we can just go out there and paint it, because actually even though we're covering up graffiti, we're actually graffitiing
Right.
a wall.
And
So
I
same thing with our
understand.
CSD. So we have to follow by guidelines, and it's frustrating, but we have to follow those guidelines, and we're gonna stick to those
Well,
guidelines.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not telling you not to follow the guidelines. I'm just was trying to give a suggestion, hopefully to alleviate some of the resistance you're getting.
So, yeah, I'm sure they'll help out, for what they got. There's a few block walls that actually Gail emailed over to our CSD for them to take care of. And if it's not taken care of by, like Sunday, if we see it out there, we're just gonna go ahead and cover it up. And then they can come back later on and sandblast it and do what they gotta do, or, pressure wash it or whatever. I don't have pressure washer, I have paint sprayers, and I have all the paint colors for all these block walls. So it's gotta be covered up, because it looks like an eyesore, and it's gotta be done.
Josh, is there something that we can look at on your end that because Paul and his group is being sanctioned by Kern County to go out and do these things, getting the paint from Kern County, can Kern County put some, give him some support, in other words, through some kind of legislation or something to say, if it's something that's visible, that it needs to be covered up, and they need to cooperate with him to be able, so he can do his job. Can you check to see if there's something that at the supervisor level that can be done for that?
Well, I don't think you realize Paul is part of graffiti abatement program through the county.
That's what I was saying.
We are the graffiti through the county.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, you're working through the county, but I'm asking, can the board of supervisors give you some help? In other words, where if it's something that's visible and it's obvious blight to the community, you should not get the pushback and resistance you're getting. In other words, you should be able to go up and say, look, this needs to be covered up. Either you let us do it or you do it. And to have something from the county backing you up on that. Because all we really want to do is get rid of the graffiti. And, and if it takes something from the county to give you that backing, then that's what I'm hoping that can be done.
Well, that's what code enforcement is for.
Oh, I can speak with Public Works, and I can take that to the supervisor and discuss it with him.
Okay.
Yeah, if they have some type of letter they want to give to us, we can carry with us and say, hey, we have authorization by the county to go ahead and cover it up. If you don't want to, then yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We can get something like that. I'll get together with you afterwards, Josh, and go over all that stuff.
Sounds good.
All right, any other questions? Okay, RCSD? Oh,
I'm sorry.
yes.
I have a quick question. There's actually one of those donation bins right behind AMPM. Who do we contact? How did you get that other one? Because it's horrible. They drop couches off there.
Well, the way we got rid of that one is we follow the guidelines. We can't just go out and remove it. We contact the sheriffs, but that's on private property. So the county only has certain easement on Sierra Highway. Since it was beyond that easement, that's Union Pacific's property. So
Is
If they gave us permission, we could go ahead and load it on my truck and I would just haul it out of there. But Union Pacific came out and did it. Now, if it's a yellow one, those are legit organization. If it's the blue ones, if you call that phone number, it's a psychic hotline.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's not a legitimate thing. They're just dumping them off because they probably have so much quantity of them. They're just dumping them off all over the place.
Okay, this one is yellow, so if I contact the organization,
If you
I
contact
can
the
talk to them
organization,
about it,
and then-
because it's bad
Yeah.
over there. Okay, that's what I want, thank you.
All right, then, let's go on to Rosamond Community Service District. Anybody hear from them?
There's a public hearing coming up on Tuesday night for a new landscape and lighting levy. They're going to vote on it. So the street lights and landscaping in number 2, the annexation 2, there's going to be a public hearing Tuesday night. And so the community, if they want to comment, should go and attend that.
Wait,
The reason RCSD is never here. It seems to me they should be here. This is,
Well, you hope that they would have somebody, but
They used to come until they voted that they weren't gonna pay them if they'd sit here, even though they weren't coming
Jack,
That
was
is
it
true.
next month on the 20th that our CSD was going to need to use the Kuma Hall for another community?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, okay. Yeah, so next month on the 20th, from 6:30 to 7:30, the control district will have a community hearing here, and they wanted me to ask the council if they could stay here until 7:30 and we begin our meeting promptly after.
if they're not gonna be bothered to come to our meeting, why should we be put out when they want one of theirs?
You have a point, Joel.
We do have a lot of questions for RCSD.
You're right, it would be helpful to have the two groups working together.
Perhaps you could exert some influence.
We'll happily talk with them.
Thank you.
Okay, Rosamond Foundation, no report. Rosamond Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, my name's Terry Lansing. I'm the president of the Chamber of Commerce. I'd just like to sort of update you on Diamond Street. The county did come out and make some improvements this past month. They replaced the dead trees, they changed out the bollards that were gone, and they striped the streets. So it's close to being finished now. So now it's up to the businesses to maintain the street. The county's not going to do anything more for us. So now we're going to work with the businesses to try to keep Diamond Street up. It looks really good. The other thing we have going on is our event center. We've been working on our event center. We have some guys working on putting the stage together. They're setting the forms at this time. Hopefully next week we'll pour concrete for the footings and that. And today we had some people out setting setting the blocks on the car wash wall. We wanted to level it off, and then Jed Strange, our artist, is going to finish the mural that's on Diamond Street at our event center. So our project's moving forward. It's taken 3.5 years to get here, but sometimes it takes a long time. The other item that we're looking to do is we're looking at putting a time capsule in our event center, in the stage when we build it. And we're looking at maybe opening it 20 years from now. So we want to kind of capture the moment, what Diamond Street looks like, what the rest of the community looks like. So we can look back 20 years from now and say, this is what it was, and here we are today. So that's one of the programs we're doing now.
Terry, have you rescheduled the grand opening for Diamond Street?
We're waiting on the Kern County to do that. They're the ones that wanted to set it up. They're talking about sometime in July having a ribbon cutting for Diamond Street, being they completed it now. So we'll work with them and we'll let you guys know once we know that too. I think they want to sort of use our event center as the backdrop for their ribbon cutting. So we're pushing to get it done for them.
All right, any other questions in the chamber? Okay, thank you, Chair. Rosamond Youth Football and Cheer. Nobody here tonight. Southern Kern Unified School District.
I have 3 things on that. first of all, the budget for 17-18 is close to $40 million. Just a few years ago, it was 24 million, but now it's $40 million. The keys to the new elementary school are going to be turned over to the district on the 22nd of June. So that's coming right up. And then in early August, they're going to have a formal dedication of the school, groundbreaking and opening of school in early August. And throughout the summer, they're going to serve meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner at Rosamond Elementary and Tropico on the other side of town. So it's going to be the same situation, no charge for kids, $2 for 18 and older and adults. And so it's a pretty good program. So get the word out as much as you can.
Alrighty. Antelope Valley citizens for responsible use of water. I do not see Mr. Scott here.
I'll make one item there. The AVIC is banking now. They have 3 water banks, and they're banking about 210 acre feet every day. Because there's an abundance of water. Wet year, wettest in recorded California history. And so in their 3 banks, 210 acre feet, and they hope to increase that. They have a new west side water bank and a new east side that they're going to bring up to be able to take even more.
What did their percolation rate finally come out to, John?
18 inches, but it's different places, different soils on the west side, different soil on the east side.
Right. I know that
So
out there in the Nenach area that it's pretty good percolation. 18 inches, that's fantastic.
that's a lot, yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, Edwards Air Force Base. Any,
Somebody else would need to get out on a regular basis.
yeah, we do. Okay, then any others that, community organizations? All right, community announcements. Bonafide representatives of community service organizations and clubs are invited to announce upcoming events. Open to the public. Please limit presentations to no more than 3 minutes. And at this point, I'll open the floor for that. There are none. We want to item now.
I have one.
Oh,
This Saturday, we here at the Daybreak Community Development Center, which is on V Street, is going to be giving out food starting at 11 o'clock. We're going to be receiving anywhere from 12 to 15 pallets of food, and it's coming from Rancho Cucamonga, where I used to feed about 2,500 people a month. So they're graciously bringing us some food here for just this community. That's at 11 o'clock. So any of you that have neighbors that could use that type of food, you're going to receive about $50 to $100 worth of groceries.
Where exactly is that going to be?
2850 B Street, which is right behind Foster Freeze, right in that area.
Okay.
And what date was that again, Dave?
That's this Saturday, 11 a.m.
okay, item 9, public comment period. Any member of the public may address the council regarding any matter concerned to Rosamond residents. This need not be related to any items on the agenda. However, the law prohibits the council from taking any action on matters not on the agenda. Please limit your presentations to 3 minutes. Yes.
Hi, I'm back. So, so I've been kind of around with S-Power, and we've been in different areas of the community, but I worked for SunPower several years ago, and I remember you too. And we have a project coming up here in Rosamond again in Kern County, and we're kind of in the very early preliminary stages of it, but we wanted to reach out to the community, kind of give you guys, you know, what we're planning on doing, any feedback. We're still, you know, probably a good year before we can go through permitting, and probably a couple years before any construction begins at all. But we did want to get a head start, and I wanted to get back out here, and I have tons of familiar faces that I've worked with before, and we just want to make sure that we are being a good partner. We focus on doing that, working with law enforcement especially. They've done a great job in Lancaster with their booster program, and looking forward to kind of reaching out to all the different organizations. I've kept in touch with Terry over the years, and seems like everything was doing great. We have already started, so we donate some of the street lights for you guys downtown, and we're just wanted to kind of come back and introduce ourselves and kind of give you guys an idea of what we're planning. If you want to do, an informal meeting, if you guys have any questions, or Bill has all my contact information. You guys can always email me, call me. This is Nancy. She's going to be our permitting manager, so she kind of deals with all the environmental issues, the planning part of it, the permitting part, works with the county directly. So we're both happy to answer any questions. Although right now we don't have a lot of information set in stone. But as that information grows, we'll be happy to share that with you guys so that it can be talked about.
What was your name again?
Nikki.
Nikki, before you leave, can I get one of your cards?
I didn't even bring any cards today. I went to a funeral. I know.
I'll get.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. And I'll be happy to send all you guys my information. So.
I think your email is still in my address box.
Oh yeah. So we're looking forward to kind of doing all the fun stuff we did, when I was with SunPower at that time. But should be good for the community and good for everyone. So.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I have one question. Are you going to have a local office anywhere in Lancaster or Rosamond?
I'm in Tehachapi.
Oh, you're in Tehachapi. Okay.
So I'm as local. I just basically work from home and then kind of go to all my, because I go to Bakersfield and all over, so I'm
sure
kind of spread out. But so I'm within a half hour. If you guys really need something, I can jump in the car and come down. So
good.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Definitely. Thank you.
Okay. Any other, Mr. Gatt?
Just wanted to give another quick monthly real estate update for everybody. Real estate market in Rosamond continues to boom right now. Price per square foot is up about $3 from where it was last month. Our average sales price is down slightly just because the homes, again, are fluctuating a little bit in size. So our average sales price for last month was $238,906. We've got quite a few homes as far as activity. We've got 55 homes that are currently pending in Rosamond and 36 homes that are currently active for sale. Last month we had 34 sales. The month before we had 24 sales. So number of sales are continuing to go up. Price per square foot is continuing to go up. And we expect this trend to continue for a while.
Okay, great. $3, huh? Wow, I made some money. Any other public comments? Okay, great. All right, business meeting, item 10, standing committee reports. Item A, planning committee.
No input this month because I was out of the year due to illness and death.
Okay, I have some input for the planning committee and for the public works committee, item A and D. But we'll go through the other ones first. Item B, safety committee. Nothing tonight. Item C, public health, community welfare committee.
Nope.
And item E, public relations committee. All right. On the planning and public works. Yes.
I was just going to make a comment on planning and public works, so I'll wait to that.
Okay, on Wednesday, look at my calendar because I've been messing up lately. Yes, Wednesday the 28th.
10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. here at Hummel Hall. This involves both the planning committee and the public works committee, and if everybody's going to be here, it'll have to be an agendized meeting, but we are meeting with Caltrans on our off-ramp issue on the 14th. And if we have to make it an agended meeting, are the other directors wanting to be here? Director Hernandez and Director Morris?
What was the time?
10 in the morning?
Yes, it's okay with me.
Okay, then we'll probably go ahead and just make that an agendized meeting.
Okay.
It's gonna be here, that way the whole board, because it's been so hard to get to meet with these people that I feel that we've got the full board here to get all the questions out there and everything else. I'll get you the information in the next couple of days. I'm still working on getting a package put together. But what we're gonna have is anybody from the public, this is for the 14 off-ramp, and to float our ideas to Caltrans on ways to redo that at the most inexpensive way, but yet to make it a safer off-ramp for the community, especially in light of the fact that we have the school going to be opening up there soon, and if the problem is bad enough now, it's going to be 100 times worse once that school is opened up with the traffic trying to get over to Glendower. So we've got some ideas that we're going to present to Caltrans. Hopefully they will accept one of them and move forward on implementing it. And it'd be good to have the community here to give their input, because this is a chance for Caltrans to hear our concerns and to hopefully take some action and act on it. So that's 28, 10 a.m. here at Hummel Hall.
And Josh, you're going to be reserving the hall for that?
Yes, and I will be here for that as well.
And Josh, I appreciate you being so quick on getting this set up. You said there was 4 people coming from Caltrans?
Yes. Terry Irwin is project manager. Their District 9 director as well as deputy director, and they're trying to bring a geometric engineer.
So we've got some pretty influential people from Caltrans coming, so need to make the most of this meeting. And so I just wanted to bring that up, and I think it's important that the board is there, so we'll make it an agenda meeting and get it out to everybody, and hopefully all that can make it can be here and get something positive done, hopefully. Okay, move on to item 11, old business, a review approved letter for community service program.
Great.
Just a simple letter.
Can I speak real quick on D, on Public
Yes.
Works? So, who do we go to about buckled sidewalks? I noticed a sidewalk with some buckled concrete over on Sweet Gum, just at the north end of 15th.
Okay, buckled sidewalks would probably be Public Works. I would, before you bring it to this board, I think I would make a phone call to Public Works, see if they can get somebody out there to take a look at it. You know, if nothing is done on it, then that's where I think we can step in and maybe write a letter of that area. But I think I would give them the opportunity to come out and address the issue first and see what they say.
Okay. And then a little while ago on United Street, they did resurface United up to Hook. North of Hook has quite a bit of damage, cracks that keep spreading, and that needs to be addressed, I feel, as well.
Okay, that's something that, again, we have to get into Kern County roads. It might be on their schedule. That's something we can find out, Josh, if you could look into on that.
Okay.
And that way, because it might be on their schedule to do it in September, October, or whatever, you know, and, but we can find that out, you know, what their paving schedule looks like.
Sure.
But that's not unusual for them to come to a certain street and stop, and then move on to another project that they're gonna do, and then come back to that later.
Okay.
Okay, any other things, Albert?
No, that was it for me.
Okay, very good. Okay, moving back on to item 11, we have the letter. Give everybody a chance to look it over. Go ahead and explain this program again and what its benefits are.
Basically, community service is the people from our community that have been sentenced to community service. Currently, they're going to Bakersfield to comply with the number of hours. We have people come in here, so this needs to be done, that needs to be done. Well, let's get some free labor here. I went down and visited the volunteer center in Kern County down in Bakersfield. They laid it out, and it's simple. They really want us to use people up here because they get a lot of complaints about people having to go all the way down there. I've got a small list of volunteers who will volunteer to supervise the people and sign off on their daily worksheets. What we need, I'll try and get down here with a letter tomorrow to get us set up. Then all we do is put in a form, which I've got plenty of. We'll get the people up here, they will report to us, or whoever is volunteering, they'll do the work, trash pickup, graffiti abatement, park maintenance, all kinds of things they can do. Doesn't cost us anything. I've got a couple of businesses who'll supply trash bags and that kind of stuff. And we can get some stuff done here.
All right, now as for the letter, what needs to be done is that we approve it as a board, and if we approve the letter, then the letter will be given, the signed letter will be given to Josh, and then he will take it to Zach's office and make sure that everything is good there. Once they sign off on it and they're good with it, then we can go ahead and you get the green light to move forward.
And they'll deliver it to the community center, community service center.
So, at this time, I will call for the question. Is there any other discussion on this letter? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the letter?
Make the motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Motion is made by Director Parkman, seconded by Director Hernandez. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 12, new business. Discuss and take possible action in regards to marijuana dispensaries. Okay, what we have this evening is our letter was sent to the supervisor's office. It's made the rounds there. It's been reviewed by Lorelei, and what needs to be done now is that instead of having it addressed to Kevin McCarthy, we need to address the letter to Zach Scribner, and then he will take the letter to Kevin McCarthy. And which I do not have a problem with. You know, it's whatever. That was our whole purpose for getting it to the supervisor's office, was to get them to get it in a presentable form that they were comfortable with. And So if the board is good with that, then we can take a vote on that and move forward. And you have the letter in Word form, so you can go ahead and edit it the way you want to edit it. And in fact, I don't think we need to take action on it, because we approved for you to get the letter and to edit it as you see fit. And once it's edited to Zach's liking, then bring it back to us so we can all sign it and then get it moved forward. And so if you could do that, that would just, whatever Zach and Lorelei, how they want it worded, go ahead and do the wording. Because we gave you that okay to do that already. And then we can get this thing moving forward. And if they wanted to have it to Zach from the RMAC versus to Kevin McCarthy from the RMAC, you know, if that's the way Zach wants it done, that's fine. You know, that's whatever it takes, because we really want his signature on this. You know, we want him to be behind this, and because that's where it's going to carry the most weight. Also, while we're on the marijuana, I read an article in the Valley Press last week. Allison, what day was that?
I have no idea.
Oh gosh,
I can't keep track.
I left the copy sitting on my kitchen table. I was going to bring it with me, but anyhow, what it said is that this is kind of a problem that you can take to Zach as well in this issue. Los Angeles County, their board of supervisors have already have an ordinance in place that any marijuana dispensary of any kind, medical or whatever, is not allowed in the unincorporated areas of Los Angeles County. So, okay, if this stays into effect, then all the unincorporated areas of Los Angeles County, which is a lot of it here in the Antelope Valley, they're going to be coming here to Rosamond to get to the pot shops here. It's going to make these pot shops here even more attractive, because they're not going to be able to get it there. So, two things. If LA County Board of Supervisors can have that ordinance, why can't Kern County have the same ordinance that no marijuana dispensaries in unincorporated areas? You know, if California City, that's an incorporated city, if they want to have it, fine. You know, Bakersfield, an incorporated city, if they want to have it, you know, that's their choice as a city. But if Kern County adopts the same language that LA County has adopted, then that takes care of our problem right there. There won't be any dispensaries in Mojave. There won't be any dispensaries in Boron. There won't be any dispensaries in Rosamond. And there won't be any dispensaries, you know, Cal City and Tehachapi. You know, those cities will make their own decisions, but that would solve our problem. But because LA County's already done it, it's going to make our problem worse come January 1st.
Okay, yeah, I'll bring that up to the supervisor and discuss that with him.
What is the current count on the dispensaries in Rosamond? Anybody have any idea?
I think it's 14 now.
14 or 15.
Yeah, last I checked, it was 16. Code compliance still hasn't got back to me on a confirmation of how many are in Rosamond, but they told me that they're counting.
There's at least 2 new ones in Rosamond here within the last
count we have.
Okay, so potentially 18 now?
16.
Okay, 16 with the new, with the 2 new
With the
ones.
two new ones, it should be 16.
Okay.
North Tower was one of them, and I forget what the other.
So anyhow, that's that was my concerns on this, and so change the letter but please get that information back to Zach. That,
That's a good idea.
you know, because, and I can, I'll send you a copy of the newspaper article, but it's basically,
Please.
LA County's already got that in place, and it's been in place for several years. So, they
Yeah, I
took,
wasn't aware of that.
yeah, and I wasn't either. And so, unincorporated areas of Los Angeles County, which includes Acton, Antelope Acres, Quartz Hill, you know, all the unincorporated areas of Lancaster and Palmdale, there's no dispensaries there.
They just, the Senate and Assembly just adopted yesterday, which is very important to do something together, for regulations for transportation, pot, and some of the, kind of what you're seeing in this area right now. What's the start, January 1st, when it starts putting Prop 64 loose? You have to have, it'd be just as similar as alcohol. It has to be in the trunk of the car. If it's not in the trunk of the car, it's got to be in a sealed container. Factory or manufacturer sealed container. So that's one thing that's going to kind of give the law a little stronger teeth to go after folks. We discovered that in 2015, for the first time in history in California, drug driving and drug/alcohol driving accidents went up, has topped over alcohol. Wow. So that's why they're really trying to get through that. They also adopted yesterday $3 million more for you mentioned the field sobriety test and stuff. So,
Okay,
I
that's
thought
good.
and I should have brought this up earlier, but I was waiting to hear Johnny to say about the chases going down to LA, has increased. And, so right into that what you want, that seems to be all these things. Anyway, that's the new thing that came in yesterday.
Another issue with the pot dispensaries here is they do not pay people, or they pay them under the table. They don't pay taxes at all.
So they're robbing the county.
Not only the county, the state, the federal government.
I know, that's.
Maybe you could get the state tax franchise board on it.
That's not a good.
There's got to be some way we can
That's not bad.
slow this down. We had, for a 2-week period, we had 3 fatalities. All of them were under the influence.
I'm just looking at, the 19 arrested.
9 here. Yeah,
9
exactly.
So there's, I don't know, the
It's-
correlation is too obvious for me.
Yeah, the crime is going through the roof. The traffic is.
But I love, Brady said about LA County, the ruling that can get it Kern County as well, in incorporated areas. That's
I'd
just-
simply like Kern County to ignore state law like the state ignores federal law. Because it's all illegal under federal law. And federal trumps state. But why isn't anybody doing anything?
It's, if I can answer, I think it's really the ridiculous nature of they know better. They feel that they can not follow federal regulations while at the same time saying that we at the county and local level have to follow everything that they say and all regulations they enforce. Whereas they know best, the people up above at the federal government don't know, and us down here at the bottom, the grassroots, they think we're just clueless.
Pretty soon something's going to have to happen.
Hey Greg, you need to take a picture of that pawn shop at the sheriff's station. Send that to.
Yeah, it's
Greg,
been bad.
that's a disgrace.
Sheriff's station that was closed down is how
And to the sheriff's department, everybody.
Yeah, the people here really are fed up with it.
No, I know, and that right to me was just the ultimate.
Insult.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
Just slap in the face.
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, that'd be great, and I'd like to get your card, that way I can get you on the email and keep anything that I'm getting, I'll make sure that you get as well.
Please.
And that will help out a lot. I really appreciate you being here and tell us something about very happy to have representation here.
He's actually has a good group up in Sacramento for grading, which is really rare. So it's they're listing this as a problem, and will be a problem. When we take a look at states such as Colorado, where they just implemented it and had no plan whatsoever, things went crazy. So it's.
And also tell Assemblyman Mackey that anytime he wants to come and speak to the community, just let me know and I'll get him on the agenda, and he's got an open invitation anytime he wants to be here.
He will. And he's off session right now.
Great. Okay, item B, discuss and take possible action in regards to the 14 Freeway Rosamond Blvd off-ramp. That is set for the 28th, and hopefully this room will be packed and we can get some good questions and get some good results. Item C, discussion take possible action in regards to shoulder repair on 35th Street West. Has any movement been done on that, Josh? That was
Public Works is backed up at the moment. They said that they will put it on the list and get to it when they can. They have a massive amount of projects that they're trying to get on top of.
I thought at the last one we were talking about, it said that they would probably start it sometime this summer. No?
I don't have anything definitive from them yet on a timeline other than that they have a large workload.
You know, as a long-time public employee, I know that the wheels turn slowly. The work will get done, but you know it does take time.
It's on the list. It's on the list. Yes, it is on the list.
The only thing that I would like to know is that where are we on the list? You know, in other words, realistically, are we looking at, is it going to be done this fiscal year, or is it something that's they're scheduling for the next fiscal year?
I'll ask them that specific question.
Yeah, and that's all I really want to know is, I mean, it's, you know, it is what it is. I mean, if they're not going to get to us, you know, until after the first of the year, that's fine. At least that way we've got some kind of a timeline. And that's all. And they should be able to give us that. Okay, item D, discuss and take possible action in regards to county increase in park recreation opportunities. And so this is on the agenda. These items will continue to be on the agenda until they're resolved one way or the other. When will Kern County start developing their new budget?
We're actually already in the preliminary budget phase. On the 20th of this month, the CAO will be submitting to the board his budget recommendations. They are expected to adopt those recommendations as they are presented to them. What we find currently is that there's a new $41 million structural deficit. 9.1 million of that's coming from fire department. So the CAO is working with County Fire to conduct an operational analysis to submit recommendations to the board as well as Chief Marshal on how we can address that without cutting into county services. So we have the 3-year, we're starting the second year of our 4-year tiered plan to address previous budget problems from the drought and the drop in oil prices. This $41 million will be incurred upon this fiscal year and the following 2.
Okay, so in other words, probably park and recreation budget is not realistically looking at any new money being injected into it at this time.
I can't say anything definitively. I do know that further cuts are coming down the road, but we won't know exactly what those are until the board agrees.
You know, for Glendower Park, and it'd just be kind of interesting to find out, you know, where we're at, you know, as far as the list of priorities. And I think that's where something that we should try to work on as a board once we find out where Rosamond is at on the list of getting projects done, to try to move us up that list, up that ladder a little bit, get us in a better position.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll check in on that.
Okay. That'd be great. Okay, item E, fill spot on Public Relations Committee vacated by former Director Romo. And that is on the Public Relations. And I believe that was it. So we have Director Hernandez and Director Gerald Morris on the Public Relations Committee. And so we need someone that would like to be on that committee.
We can have two more sitting there.
Okay, so Donna wants to be on it. All right.
Make you work harder.
Yeah, that doesn't require a vote, it's just simply a chair appointment. So Director Donna Morris will now be on the Public Relations Committee to fill that vacancy. And thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay,
I'll go on the
item.
second Tuesday of every week.
Item F, discuss and take possible action in regards to old B52 Market, corner of Sierra Highway and Rosamond Boulevard.
Yeah, I think, Mr. Chair, that we need to probably start elevating this because we're not getting much of a reaction from them. We've been kind of generous with them for about the past year. And that corner is blight. And either they do something about it or we call code compliance.
Okay, I will talk to him. I've made some phone calls to try and get feelers out there. I don't know if people come down here and take a look at the property and decide if they're not interested or whatever it is. So we'll move forward. We'll get a hold of the gentleman again, and I will make one more round of phone calls myself to try to see if we can get somebody that'd be interested in putting a business in there.
Please put another contract.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know if they pay taxes.
I think it's, they don't pay any taxes.
You know, in regards to the blight, I do want to make a nice report tonight. Is that over on 15th Street, the apartment buildings over there by, I keep changing their names, so don't hold me to their name, but they're the apartment buildings on 15th Street West. And the ones where they caught on fire about a year ago.
Is that Rosamond Gateway Apartments or something?
Yeah, I think that's them. And the burned out building has sat empty for a long time. In fact, I was actually getting ready this week to go and talk to the manager and find out if they were going to do anything on the property. And they've got scaffolding up all around it today. They've stripped the roof off, so they're fixing it up so that place is not going to be a blight anymore. It's going to be, they're going to get it fixed and get apartments rented out. So I'm really happy about that.
How about the one on B Street, the apartment that caught fire?
That one I don't know, but I saw the boarded up windows on that. Looked like it was just one apartment.
Yes.
Yeah. They'll probably get that going, but I was really happy to see that one. They're finally starting to do the repairs on that. That was great. Okay, item 13, Director Agenda Referrals. Items for new business. Any items? Okay. And item 14, Director's Comments. Start with Director Mr. Morris.
I don't think I have anything tonight.
Just a little thing, I experienced the death of my family this about 2 weeks ago. It kind of reinforces the old thing, tell people that are around you that you love them, because you just don't know when you're going to lose them. That's all.
Well, I just want to say thank you for everybody coming out. And, you know, if we've got the same faces here every week, I'm trying, if you've got ideas that we can get the word out better, I mean, John puts us in his paper. You know, I would like to see this room packed full of people from the community. And so tell your neighbors about the meetings. You know, our pastor at our church tells us every Sunday, be a bringer. So all of you guys that are coming every month, be a bringer. You know, grab somebody and bring them with you. And this board is your voice, and it's the community's opportunity to tell us what's going on in the community you want to see change. Things that are not going right, and things that are going right. And everybody share ideas back and forth. So the more people we can get in here, you know, golden opportunity. We got Cinnamon Lackey's office here being represented. You know, if there was 100 people in here, you could have 100 people coming up to him and saying, hey, you know, I've got this concern, I got that concern. It's a great opportunity for people to voice their concerns. You have the Sheriff's Department, you have the Highway Patrol, you know, real estate. You know, there's questions on that. Chamber of Commerce. You know, they get questions at Terry. You know, so it's opportunity, and I want to, you know, the more people we get here, the better the opportunity to make our community a better place. And with that, I'll move on to Director Morris. Your turn.
And to add to what you said, we're only as good as the information you bring us. We can't be everywhere either. I can drive around when I come home, I can do whatever I can do, but that's all I can do. I can't be everywhere. You gotta bring it to us.
I just want to reiterate what Greg had mentioned, thanking all of you for coming out. Every time that I see you come out here, I see your heart for this community. That's one thing that we really need to get together as a group. Even though we may be a handful, we can start there and start to reach out to others, and that's what we're here for. All of us, I believe. That's why you're here, because you're excited about this community and we want it to grow. I don't know about you, I've only been here 5 years, and I keep seeing young people just walking the streets, and I see them, I'm on Elm and Desert, and they're walking the streets at 11, 12, 1, and 2 o'clock in the morning, and that breaks my heart. I see little ones that are lookouts for the druggies, the 5-year-olds, the 6-year-olds, the 7-year-olds. They're lookouts for the druggies, so when the cops come, they go let them know. That's what I see just in my neighborhood. Can you imagine what's happening here if we don't get more involved? We have to reach out and help one another.
I just have a comment.
Yes.
I just want to acknowledge Albert Gatt, because we were actually leaving the chamber meeting and he invited us to this meeting. And her and I were just talking about how informational it was, and we definitely want to come back next month.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Albert, for being a bringer.
Keep it up.
Okay, item 15, adjournment.
Take the motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Director Donna Morris, seconded by Director Hernandez. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned at 8:26.